I see what?
Their meeting they had today that was live on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, he was sitting there. Mark Zuckerberg tried to take the fear out of the American people by all the things that he spies in and sees that we have all these things going on. Check.
No, that was me.
Okay. Didn't turn my volume down. What was that noise? You know what? Just stay off. Off. I just shut my phone all the way off. Hell with it. Anyways, Mark Zuckerberg was talking to Dr. Fossey about, all the things that he's noticed on Facebook that's happening. Our fears and how they're going to actually find out if this vaccine works, and how Dr. Fossey explained how it was going to work, which it actually would calm a lot of people down hearing that. Now, whether they do what they say they're going to do, that's another story. That's one of the topics we could talk about.
Yeah. All right, let's get this bad boy rolling. We've already been recording. Uh, we're actually streaming live on Facebook right now, by the way.
Serious?
Yeah.
Right. Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, it says live. How we do?
So, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though this is streaming. Hi, I'm Robert from GHTR, the Nation's Podcast Radio, and of course we got Chris here. This is our second installment of some of our videos and stuff. So how you been doing there, Chris?
I just got in from camping yesterday. I've been camping since this practically all this pandemic stuff started.
Yeah.
I've been camping all over the place, doing my 6 feet social distancing, probably 600-mile distancing.
Yeah, that's getting to be a pain in the butt too.
It is. It very much is. But what can we say?
Yeah.
I don't think it's we the people anymore. It's them the people that tell us what we the people
Uh,
do.
I I think you're right. Honestly, it's we do not have a country anymore. I don't think. It's a divided country, and boy, I tell you, since our last video, I first want to apologize and let everybody know that we did have some audio problems. We're trying to work out our problems. Of course, Chris, as you can see, he's not as ugly as he was last week. So I have to pick on you. You know that, right?
I know that.
Okay.
They may not know that, but we've did shows for over a decade.
Well, if they're offended by that, I don't care. There's too much other things on the world going on. So
People really get offended over anything. I mean, it's hard to talk anymore without offending somebody.
that's
I
true.
put on my wall today on Facebook this comedian that was talking about our generation to come. Like he was sitting there drinking water, and they're like, "Oh, that's water." And it's like, "Yeah, it doesn't." They're like, "Would you know anything about water?" "Yeah, it comes from a bottle." He started talking about, no, a long time ago, we had these faucets, and sometimes you had hot water or cold water. You have to check it out. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, we don't know what that is anymore, right?
No, the world we don't. Well, they don't teach your kid. Well, right now they're not in school. We don't even know when they're going back to school. But when they were in school, they don't teach them cursive, um, and they teach them math. My children were trying to show me some of the math equations that they were teaching them. It wasn't like if you have one and one, you have two. And it kind of reminded me of Ma and Paul Kettle when they
Yeah.
were. Did you see where Ma and Paul Kettle, where they're doing the math figures?
Yep. Boy,
That's
I
kind of
haven't
like,
seen that in a long time.
oh god, it was one of my favorite shows. When
Yeah.
I was in the Western State University, one of my classes I took, elective classes to get higher GPA, was movies, and we did I studied for a semester on Charlie Chaplin, and my 14-year-old son now watched as I studied, did my homework, watching these silent movies with the early 1900s, and he thought it was going to be the boringest thing he ever seen. He laughed so hard. You didn't have
Oh
to
yeah.
say a word. It's just today we don't have the same society that we had just decades ago, and the decades ago we didn't have what we had. They were probably saying the same thing back then.
Well,
You
of
know,
course, that's why like when we watch TV right now, um I watch a lot of Hulu, Netflix,
Yeah,
I'm watching all these classic shows. Like we're watching like Frasier. We're watching shows like Dharma and Greg. And I've tried to watch a couple of newer shows. Like there's a show that's called Mom. It's about these mother and daughter who are recovering alcoholics. And
right.
I've watched the series through. And it's a really good show. I don't know if you've seen it,
I haven't.
but when you watch these shows, you kind of, the older you get, the more you start to think about what's on TV now. And then I start to think about how my grandparents used to say, I don't understand how you could watch that. Let's watch Hee Haw. Let's watch
Oh, it's great.
Bonanza.
Bonanza was great. I mean, my
Yeah.
favorite mother and daughter show by far was the Carol Burnett show.
Oh, that was a comedy. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty good. But the thing about it is today, everything has changed. Like for instance, do you remember the show Different Strokes?
Oh yes.
Okay. So
What you talking about?
yeah. So if you go back and you watch it right now, as an adult, an older adult, our age adults, and you know what's going on right now in our world right now, that has to be the racist show I've ever seen in my life. And I am blown away that it's even still on the air right now, even in syndication, because they're canceling everything else.
Yeah.
You would think that they would find that unbelievably offensive. And you know what? If you watch it, it is offensive to
Archie
to
Bunker.
huh?
Archie Bunker show.
Not only the Archie Bunker show, but uh, what's that show with the junkyard guys?
Fat Albert.
No,
Oh, Sanford and
cartoon.
Son. Sanford and Son. Yeah.
Again, if you watch it, the narrative about it is if the wrong people seen it today, they'd cancel that because it's
But that was one of my favorite shows. Lamont. I love, and Esther. It's a big one.
Yep. Good times, all those shows.
Yeah, good
And
times.
what
JJ.
strikes me is even going back and watching like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Anytime they had somebody different on there or something, there is always this.
Can you
huge
name
thing.
them? Can you name them?
Huh?
Can you name the Brady Bunch?
Yeah.
Each one.
Go
of them.
ahead. Let's see you do it.
Jan Brady or Jan, Marcia, Cindy.
No, you got it in the wrong order.
Well, it doesn't matter the order. I'm naming them.
Oh, okay.
Bobby, Mr. and Mrs. Brady,
What were their names?
Mr. and Mrs. Florence was a maid.
Carol, Mike,
Carol, yeah,
Greg,
Carol and Mike.
Marcia, Jan, Peter, Bobby, and Cindy.
Good job.
Yeah. Don't ask me like Little House on the Prairie. I couldn't name all the characters there, but
Well,
I know Daisy Duke.
I loved it, but that's racist, because of the flag that was on General Lee car.
Oh, yeah.
I have never watched that show once with racist eyes because of the flag on a car. I watched it because they were just two good old boys just having a good time, rebels in their own way of speaking.
Yeah.
Daisy Duke was sexy with those shorts on, and their dad was so cool, and he was like the only logical one that was there, it seemed like. And of course, Boss Hog was, the thug.
And Enos.
Oh my God, he was just like Barney on Andy Griffin's show. I mean,
Oh, there you go, the Andy Griffith Show.
I love Mayberry.
Another classic. So nowadays, when you're watching TV, you're watching all sorts of crazy, like reality TV, like the Kardashians. Okay. I don't watch those shows. Jody
It's
does.
not realistic. If you look at the majority of America, it shouldn't be something like the Kardashians. It should be the local trailer park.
Right.
I mean,
And I
Bobby's
agree.
is Bobby ever buying more meth again?
And that's
He
usually
stole
the
my
way
lawnmower
that's
last
usually the
week.
way it goes. That's usually the way it would go. And what really gets me about it is that the facts we have, these facts. They say, oh, and fact checking and making sure that you're
Oh
telling the
yes.
truth. But man, I'll tell you what, when I go back and I look at those older shows, I get this feeling now of like somebody watching me watch this, you know?
Well, your smart TVs probably are watching you watch it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
When they come out with a future TV where it could actually, which I don't think it's far away from it, because you ever noticed on your smartphone, if you're thinking what you're trying to type, it already says the word there, what you're thinking.
Well, that's autocorrect. It's smarter than you. It probably can carry on a better conversation than you.
No, I like talking text, because when you're using talking text, it comes up with some off the wall things. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I
way
know.
off the wall too.
I do it to Jody all the time, and all of a sudden I get this LOL okay with a question mark. It's like, all right,
My mom used to write laugh out loud.
but technology. So here's something that ought to kind of you hear Amazon, the whatever that's called, Alexa, and then you got Google, and of course we got our phones.
Right.
So
Alexa.
one day I was talking to a friend similar to you. I think I was actually telling you this, and I said to you, I go, put your phone down on a table and have a conversation about one thing. Like, hey, I ate at McDonald's the other day and I had a Big Mac and I had fries and I had a cold Coke and it was awesome. And then, but I really do I like Wendy's. I like going to Wendy's. Wendy's has a better hamburger. Don't you think that Wendy's has a better hamburger? Yeah, yeah. And then you talk about something else of interest, like you and I. We talk about music. We talk about guitars. We talk about a Gibson. We talk about a Stratocaster. We're talking about Bose speakers. We're having this conversation. We're not touching our phones, right? Okay. So here it is in a nutshell. Our devices listen to us because when you pick up that phone and you go anywhere, you're going to see an ad that has to do with McDonald's or Wendy's or Bose speakers or something. It's listening to you all the time.
Yeah.
Do you
Always.
believe that?
Oh, I actually know that. I see it daily. I'm turning my
So,
phone back on because I want to show you something. When you could talk to your phone. Did you know that? And it'll talk back to you.
yeah, I know. I have it on mine. Hey Siri. I just say, hey Siri,
Right?
and she says, what's up?
Does it really?
I'm listening. Who is Chris Allen? Oh,
I
here
don't
we
even.
go. Hey Siri, who is Chris Allen?
Siri. Okay, I'm
Yep.
done with her. I'm done with her.
It says,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna talk to Google. Okay, Google. Do you love me? You gotta
well, I
think
guess
about
the answer is no.
it. Okay, Google. Do you love me? Oh, my volume's off. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking while I get my
See, he
volume
doesn't
up.
even know how to use his own phone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a caveman trying to use a regular phone.
Short quiz for you.
Okay, well, have a quiz with me.
If we were contacted by aliens, would you be more excited for us to hang out together at a gala event that's literally out of this world?
Yes, out of
Or
this
to
world.
learn about their super advanced technologies?
Yeah, super advanced technologies.
What do you think? Gala or tech?
Tech. She's avoiding the question. I asked her if she thought I was good looking. Google, do you love me?
Here's the question. If we were contacted by aliens,
See,
That's your answer. If you were she'll
I'm gonna
love
turn
you
you back. I'm
unless you
gonna
were
turn her off
contacted by an
now.
alien or something
I'm gonna
like
turn
that.
her off. I saw she wanted to talk about aliens.
It is what it is. Any way you look at it is what it is, right?
If we weren't on the radio, she'd sit there and have a conversation. Well, I love you.
That's your only relationship,
You
right?
had me in your pocket all day.
And then if you ask her a serious question, yeah, it could get you killed, right?
Google, will you marry me? Not in your life. You're too broke.
One way you look at it. So up here in Michigan, just recently, I was actually talking to a really good friend of mine tonight, and it's kind of something I want to talk about, Chris, is because we're not going to talk about me at all, but we're going to talk about our veterans out there who are getting screwed over.
Hats off
And
to you, veterans.
yeah, and the thing about it is here's what's happening, man. So today I found out that Donald Trump had pushed through, signed a bill so that our troops could go to, like, instead of having to, if they're 50 miles or more away from a VA hospital, they have the right to go to any doctor and get treated. Okay. The bill passed. Great deal for veterans. But you want to hear something? This is going to make you sick. Even though that bill has been passed, right?
Right.
They go to these hospitals and they give them limited treatment because they don't get paid. The VA will not pay other hospitals. So there's lots of veterans that are going to these doctors and they're not getting the care that they need. They're actually getting less care, and they won't run up like if a vet was to go in for anything right now and to a VA, he would have to wait through lots and lots of paperwork, mile long. Matter of fact, my friend told me about a story that my friend's from Vietnam, by the way. He served in Vietnam. And here it is. This is how bad it is. A friend of his signed the paperwork, right? And for lack of not knowing what it is, it's the form that he had to fill out because he had to have heart surgery. He had to have a new heart or heart work done. So he filled out the form, proper paperwork. Okay. He sent the paperwork in. It gets to the desk of whoever on the other end in the VA. And it's, oh, no, you need form 4AD. This is 4AC. So he sends the paperwork back. The guy goes through months of doing this paperwork over again, gets through it, and says, oh, by the way, it's been too long since you did the first form. You have to start over again, and you have to go through the whole process all over again.
Wow.
So finally, he got accepted to go to this hospital. It took him 10 years to get to that doctor to have heart surgery. 2 weeks before his surgery, he died. Okay. So now that Donald Trump had signed a bill making it so that these guys can get medical help, someone's not paying the bills to the doctors in the hospitals. So now when a vet goes there, what happens is they get limited care or they don't get it at all because they're not being paid. So these hospitals, these doctors that are out there, what's really sucky about it is that I want you to think about this really long and hard. These doctors shouldn't, and these hospitals shouldn't give a crap about a bill. They should help our veterans.
That's true. That should be the number one priority.
It shouldn't matter because these guys get screwed the second that they step out of the military. They give VA benefits, okay, which is not great. Now, here's the sad part. All these politicians that are destroying our freaking country right now, all these freaking senators and governors and mayors and everything, all over, they get a paycheck. When they leave, they get a paycheck. They get
and
health care.
healthcare.
They get to go to any doctor that they want. On top of that, not only do they get the health care, but their family gets health care for the rest of their lives.
Good,
100% paid.
good healthcare too.
Yeah, 100% all paid.
But there is a solution to everything. When if you're a veteran, all you have to do on your form is just put that you're an illegal alien, and they'll give you everything.
Yeah, well,
And if you get in trouble, just move to a sanctuary city, and they'll give you another check.
that's where everything's going right now.
It is, and I'm saying it sarcastically, vets. I'm not. No, don't. But it's sad. It really is sad. Most of my uncles are veterans. Um, the ones that are left living, I have a lot of family that's been in the military, and I know exactly what's going on and how they've been treated.
Hmm.
And they're always the first for an experiment drug too. They always love to experiment on the military vets for the experimental drugs.
Right. Well, the thing about it is we need, and here's the I love this guy so much. I do. But he said, I told him, I said, how can we change this? And he says, man, you're just pissing in the wind. No one's going to care. No one cares. No one's cared all these years. What makes you think they're going to start caring now? And truth is truth. I mean,
Yeah.
can you understand that these rioters in the last weeks have been destroying military monuments?
Oh yeah.
They've been
The people that they broke into the gated community that held herself, the lawyer and his wife that held herself at bay, trying to keep the rioters out. They're the ones that they weren't at their house, and they came in with a warrant and took their weapons for
Yep,
defending
and they're being
themselves.
prosecuted.
I watched that today actually, where they were sitting there defending themselves, and Como was on there talking to them, and he was asking them about, how does it feel to be the front person against an organization? It's like they killed a police officer just right there. They raided air. They burnt businesses. They were fearing for their life. They broke into a gated community, rioting. What were they supposed to? Oh, would you like some lemonade and cookies? I mean,
Right.
they did what they were supposed to do. They protected themselves.
I think they did. I think me, it would have been a different story.
You had been shooting at
Yep.
them, and they've been running.
The thing about it is I'm saying this. Um, I have a very very short temper when it comes to this stuff. So it's best for me not to get involved in going anywhere. But I guarantee you that if I ever was walking downtown my hometown and I saw someone burning a flag, I'd beat them senseless. I
I'd be
wouldn't
right
care.
behind
I
you.
wouldn't care if I went to jail. I wouldn't care about anything. I would beat
And
them.
if I was there with you, I'd be pulling you off of them so I could beat them myself.
Beat their asses, I kind of got a kick out of I saw a video over last couple days. I saw a video of a dude that was these actually there were three guys and they were attacking this car, right? And this kid was a country boy, and I think they broke his mirror off his car, and what happened next was monumental, and you won't see it in the media, but that boy stepped out of that car and obliterated all three of those guys, beat them to an inch of their life, threw them across the road, carried their bodies. He didn't kill them. He just beat them with an inch of their life. And I mean, he didn't do it softly. He beat every single one of those.
And they don't
guys.
give him an award. They do not give him the hero award.
No, and when it shows him lugging these suckers across the street and throwing them in a pile, walks over, does this number, gets in his car and takes off. And it's all caught on tape. And of course, people are saying he's a racist. And finally, a video emerged of this guy. He goes, I don't care who the hell you are. He goes, they're going to come knocking on my door at any moment. I know this. I know I'm going to be going to jail. It's all on video. Apparently, they got it all on video. I'm gonna go to jail, but you know what? It was worth it. And anybody I go in that, if I go into that jail, anybody wants to go head to head with me, I'll beat them down. And he didn't care. And then come to find out, this guy found out a little bit about this guy. He's a veteran. Um, he's 30 years old. Got out of the military. Um, served some time. He's suffering from post traumatic stress disorder, but he's going to school to get a skilled trade, putting his life together. Has a little baby girl and a wife, and he stuck up and he fought back and he showed these people, and it was those Antifa people who were trying to, you know, yeah,
Terrorists.
that's all it is, terrorists.
I mean,
So
when
you
you're going
kind of
out
wonder what's
destroying,
going on. So
when you're going out destroying property, you're a terrorist. That's all there is to it. When
absolutely.
you're harming people, you're a terrorist. That's all there is to it.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what flag you fly. If you're out harming people, that's the terrorist. And if you have a senator, a leader, a president, or somebody wannabe that's telling you to go out and do it, they're a terrorist leader.
I
And
believe that.
they should be arrested for telling people to do that.
And the other thing up here in Michigan, our wonderful crotchy, ugly governor up here, um, is so here this is she is so stupid. It's beyond whatever. So she closes all the bars again and keeps open the dispensaries, the abortion clinics, and stuff. She's keeping them open because those are very essential. And liquor stores, by the way. So here it is. So now it's mandatory for us all to wear masks, no matter what business we walk into.
Have y'all started letting prisoners out?
Yeah, well, that's next. Yeah, she'll let all of. Yeah, don't get me going on that one tonight. That just fries me. But anyway, this
That's
dumb
absolutely
bitch.
that's absolutely insane. People doing that.
Oh, in New York, yeah. And what does he say? What did he say? In New
They're
York, he says it cuts down on so many people being in the jails. Just let the criminal, and then the crime goes up 600%. And in Chicago, that daffy ass governor over there, she's about as ugly as they come. Looks like a freaking bulldog. The thing about it is it has nothing to do with racist. That's fact. She looks ugly. But the fact of the matter is these people are killing people. They don't care. They don't care of the violence. See, they're turning this all on Trump. They're saying it's his fault. I just watched a video not long ago. I wish I would have caught it, but here's what it was all about. So this guy says this will all go away. This will end tomorrow if Trump packs his bags, walks out of the White House, and resigns tomorrow. Everybody can have their life back.
They're as crooked as they come.
Yeah, well, it's like I told you the other night. I mean, we had a good conversation the other night about this. It's what I told you, and I still feel the same. If Trump doesn't get reelected, what he has proven to me is how corrupt our government really is.
It's corrupted every corner, nook, and cranny of it. That's
Yeah.
just like with radio stations when you have people trying to take away people from you, because if you support Trump, the FCC controls everything that we read and hear, see and do in the United States.
Correct.
That's part of our government. And when it's controlled by the left wing, the radical left wing, they don't want to hear anything that the radical right wing or even people that's just right in the middle want to say. It's
Mhm.
all their way or no way whatsoever.
Mhm.
And then there's an agenda behind that. When you look at everything that if you put people in charge of all of our income, the United States, income, you going to trust them? They get their roots growing in there, and for a lifetime, each one of them, they're going to have a paycheck. no matter how, if they were in office just for a short period of time. But there's other things that goes on in there. These people that make $160,000 a year, maybe 140, maybe 90, whatever their income bracket is, it never stops for the rest of their life. You know,
Right.
I wish I could do that. Have a job that, I still make the same amount of money when I retire for the rest of my life, and I can retire anytime I want.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
might
true.
vote and give myself a raise. You know, how crooked is that? I could vote to give myself as many raises as I want. And if you don't like it, what are you going to do about it? I mean, really?
Yeah. Yep. And that's exactly why I think this has opened my eyes to a lot. I mean, I'll be honest with you, and I do believe I believe that the COVID-19 virus is what it is. But today, or actually not today, but last couple weeks, I've been looking for real solid information. That's kind of like what I posted on Facebook today. Show me one of these organizations that I should follow, and I'll follow the guidelines to a T. You know what I'm saying? So I go in there and I hear one from one from the other, and these places are supposed to be the the written Bible, call it that, on health issues, and not one of them could agree with what the other one was saying, and it just
Today, there was a live meeting with Mark Zuckerberg and Dr. Fauci over
oh
the
yeah.
fears that are going on, through the people, particularly on Facebook. Uh, Mark's in there; he sees and hears what's going on.
Hmm.
Well, all these people are saying this and that, whatever the sayings are, he's taking notes and he's asking Dr. Fauci about that. And Dr. Fauci had a logical explanation behind everything. But I mean, it changes quite randomly, which I could understand that too. If you never had to deal with something like this. But the
Hmm.
point is, they've talked about this years before, even by name years. But there's all kinds of videos, where they're sitting there talking about, like, Bill Gates. I watched him talking to the CIA about the vaccines, you know, a decade ago or more. You know, when you hear all these things, and if you talk about it, then it's a conspiracy issue. But is it really a conspiracy if you hear them talking about it years before, and then all of a sudden it is as it is, exactly the way they talked about it? Uh, Everybody wants the truth. Everybody wants to know the truth. And you have so much division amongst everybody because, like you said, who knows who to believe? You hear all these people saying the mask, they're no good. They don't work. Well, I've had classes too with hazmat on the mat on the mask. But even then, what Dr. Fauci was covering today about when you expectorate, you have I can't think of the word he used. You have a mist that will come out that stays in the air. It lingers longer than the droplets that would come out that usually travel within 6 feet. That's why they came up with the 6 feet ruling or what have you. The mask just keeps it from spreading by expectorating it 6 feet through the air. But then he also asked him, did it have anything to do with the gases of us having depleting our oxygen, having more CO2s? And Fossey, which that's his opinion of it, he's supposed to be the expert. I don't know if he was actually taking any kind of classes on mask or what have you to be considered to be an expert, just hearing from other people and you gather your evidence and your research. But regardless, that was their speech today, which was, I'm sure it calmed the minds of a lot of people that watched it because you have so much fear, which causes division. When
Hmm.
people are feared, if you drop a firecracker in a room full of rats, they're going to go everywhere or anything, even people probably. Well, that's what fear does. It makes you scatter, clinging for what is real and what is not real. We need the truth. We need somebody that we could depend on, you
I
know.
agree. I agree. Because I don't know who to believe. I certainly can't believe our governor. I can't put my faith into her. Even though, the thing about it is okay. I'm gonna say something. And this is as black and white as we can get it. Okay. No gray. There is no reason, we live up here in Michigan, and I understand the bigger cities. have problems. They have spikes or whatever the case may be. But to close down in an entire state a stay-at-home order, which in the beginning, okay, I get it. There's this pandemic. I believed it in the beginning that there was something big because why else would they have us go home and sit at home? You know what I'm saying? I lost all respect when I started really. They kind of did it to themselves. Had me home. I was working from home, watching the news, watching the news, watching the news, watching the news. Kind of like 9/11. Kind of brought me back to that 9/11 time when everything was happening. What really got me, what really affected me, Chris, was the fact that I knew she was lying. When they had the protests in Lansing, where everybody went and
I
protested
remember that.
the shutdown.
That was back when the dams were breaking, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was around that time. She literally sat there and she said that there was hundreds of people with swastikas. Trump, it was all about Trump. It had nothing to do with the virus. And it was that moment. Can I say a bad word?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
say it.
sure? Can I say a bad word?
Say it.
You motherfucking bitch.
Whoa.
You lied. Right? Lied. You lied. You lied to your people. And you will not be governor long. I guarantee it. You will be gone.
I'm in shock you said that.
Ugh.
You've been wanting to do that for a while. You've been boiling to get that out.
Oh, I
But there are
cannot.
thousands and thousands of people in your state and surrounding states that's a
But the
mild
thing
word.
the thing that people don't understand is the higher death rates are in the blue states, the democratic states. Why? Tell me why. Why is that?
Hmm.
You know, look, everybody knows that Donald Trump's an asshole. I mean, he even thinks he's an asshole. Okay.
That's why I voted for him, because he was an
Well,
asshole.
the thing about it is everything that he's doing. If he does not win the next election, they will undo everything that he has done, and then China will have control of the United States.
Again.
No, we will not have a wall anymore. Illegal aliens will get funding the second they cross over the border. All they have to
Oh,
do is go to
exactly.
huh?
And they're trying to pass a law right now. The Democratic state, the left wing, has it into law right now. They're trying to get it passed into law, which the media is not covering this at all. Nobody is covering this at all. But under their family guiding plan, they're trying to bring back ones that we deported. And it doesn't matter what your crime was. If you did any crime whatsoever, we'll still take you back. There will be no wall. The second you come back, you get checks, you start getting an income. But it doesn't matter what your crime was. You cannot be deported with your crime. Before, the countries that, if they came from, say, Mexico, just for instance, right there, or Ecuador, they wouldn't take them back. A lot of places would not take them back. I mean, if you're illegal and you come here, you go back. That's where you're from. It's not our
Right.
problem. It's your problem. You know, I completely agree with about everything Trump has said. And that right there will make people not want to hear you anymore just by saying that. You can't have a logical thinking mind whatsoever anymore. That I almost think that these people are from another planet. I know that sounds ludicrous to say that, but how can you not want a secure border? How could you not want to have a country that is secure? I'm not trying to keep out our brothers and sisters that want to come here and work.
Mhm.
I love Mexicans. I mean, they're some of the greatest people I know. I love them. Half my family's Mexican, but I don't want somebody that's a terrorist coming through Mexico, coming in through the border through Mexico. I don't want a drug cartel or a child uh, trafficking group coming through the border. You got to do everything you can do to secure your country, to make your people safe. If you're having people coming back you know, my ex-wife was one of the people that they were trying to export out of the United States in a sex trafficking trade. You know, that's how I met her, was where she told me all this stuff.
Oh, you were
Um,
one of the kidnappers that they
no, I
met?
wasn't one of the kidnappers. She
Oh.
told me about this horrific story, where they actually, it was in the national news. They caught like 180 kids, and we
Mhm.
have a local mall here in the area called Canal Mall, and they had a photography place in there that was taking after-hour pictures of the kids. They got caught and shut down. This was national news. Back then, it was national news. Now they try to cover it up because the
Right,
people
right.
that were their customers, maybe judges or mayors or rock stars or movie stars or just your local congressman. You know, this stuff is real, people. It really is. I have people that are in, they do this for a living. They go to different countries looking for these trafficked children. One of my cousins down in Texas is what she does. Um, I can't give any information on that. I never would, because I love her to death. God bless her with all the journeys, the miles that she puts trying to save these children. Um, you got to secure your country. And if you have a president willing to secure your country, it's not Trump's damn wall, it's our wall. And if you're legal and you don't have to live here to come here to work. You got to have a work permit to cross that border every single day. There's that, none of that's going to change. None of it.
Nope.
The only thing that's going to change is that if you're illegal, you're not coming across that border. Take a deep breath. Hold your hands out. Go.
I'm not going to blow up yet, but boy, it is actually a thought in my mind. Believe me.
Well, some of the things that they're trying to do, that they're trying to pass, it's just insane. It's over 2,000 pages that they have, that they put out, and it's full of everything. If you're, and it's all pertaining to do with stuff that our people here, the vets, they're not going to get anything. They're not going to get any extra help whatsoever. But if you're not from this country, you step across that border, immediately you're going to get a paycheck. You
Well,
know,
that's what they want to do. I mean, what about people right now who are unemployed, and all this other stuff? I mean, what about those people? I mean, seriously, um, he is. I got a friend of mine. He's like, I was telling him today. He's been attacking the liberals like on his Facebook page all the time, and is he is tearing it up, man. Seriously tearing it up, like you would not believe. And he goes, and I
more
told him
power to them.
today, I said to him today, I go, good job. And he goes, sticking it to the lives. And he says, here, let me read it for you. He says, sticking it to the libs, tastes of one's own medicine, a smear campaign like ones they've used for years to make somebody hate Trump in the first place. Good for him.
That's all they're doing. And Nancy Pelosi even had the balls to sit there and have that video that everybody has seen. They do a smear. They take somebody, they make them look bad, they smear it, then they put it in the press, and then the press advertises that they did this, and then people believe it. People do
Um,
not have the common sense to do research. If you hate somebody and you hear something bad about that person, you know, fist in the air, yeah, hell with that person. Do the research, people. The media hates Trump.
with a
Why? To-
passion.
because he's wanting to make our country. Oh, he's just an arrogant asshole. Well, that's why we want him there. You're not going to
Oh,
get a nice, sweet, lovable guy. Oh, guys, you shouldn't do that. Is that going to really change it? When you get somebody in there that puts a foot down, this is going to stop now. We're going to sanction you if you do not. That's
yeah.
what we
Well,
need.
either way you
We
look
needed
at it.
somebody that, look at the billions of dollars that now we have coming in from China. China, that's not going to make China like us anymore. But the
Mm.
point, they were taking advantage of us. For all these years, they were taking advantage. People, if you don't know what a tariff is, let me explain you something real fast and make it simple. I'm a recording artist. I had a CD out. DJs from around the world back in the day of this album. You talk about learning your dues. If you're a DJ in France and you want my CD, I'm paying $15 to send you a CD. Okay, then you're going to your post office and you're paying $15 to receive that CD. What it costs me to ship it to you, you're paying to get it. So you got $30 in that CD. Now, little did I know, after sending thousands of dollars or the CDs to the trash can from DJs around the world, the postmaster has a stamp called a tariff-free stamp, and they can stamp that with a tariff-free. You pay a fee, but you're paying a tariff-free stamp. You're receiving that product absolutely free. China was sending all of our stuff to big, huge not mom and pop stores, but like Walmart type of stores.
Right.
They're not getting we were not getting a tariff on that. They were getting it all done for free. We're paying for that. All we're trying to do is just make what's fair around the world. Why is that something to hate on Trump? And all these the left wing, they keep going back and they always try to blame stuff that's already been proven. There was never a collusion. There was never a reason for an impeachment. They
Well,
tried
they
to
knew
impeach
that
Trump.
though.
They knew that from the beginning. They even talked about this. The reason why they do not like Trump because he's draining the swamp. That's the whole swamp. It's not a little bit of the swamp. It's not lining Trump's pocket either. Trump lost a lot of money. I mean, he lost a lot of money doing what he's doing. Besides that little bit of pay that he would make a year, he had to set his businesses aside to his children. They're running his businesses. Whatever they're doing, that's their business. That was their business before he was a president. But
Mhm.
as a person trying to make our country better, you're
Not to
thinking he's
mention
just
giving up his personal life and putting his
destroying his
kid.
personal life. He can't
You
go
see how they
anywhere.
bash Byron all the time,
Oh
Barron?
my God. And you see these teachers in school wearing,
My nose
you
is
know,
itchy, by the way.
you see these, I see there's a teacher over at one of our schools over here in Sherman that had a jacket on using that word you used a while ago, the F word, Trump. You know, that makes my blood boil. I mean,
Hmm.
that really makes my blood
And
boil.
you know I don't ever drop that.
She had the right to say what she wants to say. But first of all,
Exactly.
I don't want the F word of anything on anyone in a school environment taught to my children. I don't want children to be taught things they shouldn't be taught. When we took this country and made this country what it is, you couldn't even be a teacher. I went to college to be a teacher. I know what I'm talking about. You could not even be a teacher unless you were one, you went to a church. You had to be a Christian to be a teacher at a school. They kicked God out of the school. They kicked him out of our government. They're kicking him out of our children, but they're bringing in all kinds of other things that are not really healthy. Like a lot of people don't even know what their gender is anymore. And I'm not going to get myself in any kind of political trouble by going in that route because you know what I'm talking about.
Well, you already did it,
Well,
man.
I'm sorry if I did or not. That's just not right. That does not need taught to our children. Children should be taught the fundamentals, math, English, history, statues, why they're there, not to be taken down. As something happened to people hundreds of years ago, you can't blame us today for what happened back then.
No,
But
not at all.
you should actually think of your race. Look where we are, how far we've come.
That's right.
It's all through education. It's not through hate. When you
Well,
put hate into any occasion where you're out having violence in the street and you're hurting people of all colors, you're taking yourself backwards. You're not going forward. You're taking your race further backwards. You have to come in with education. That's all there is to it. If you come in with love and education, if this was not a stage act, for example, that the cop that had his knee on that black man that killed him, that the officer in reality should have been right on the street, drug off that man, first of all.
yo,
If
his
some,
buddy should have stepped in, is what.
you know, everybody was just like, I don't know if it was staged or not. And that goes to what I'm talking about, the divided nation, the divided house. We don't know what to believe anymore because was it actually staged? Was it real? The Vegas shooting, you see a helicopter with flashes coming out of the helicopter like a machine gun and different floors, people shooting at the people. You got all this stuff. What if it is a conspiracy or if it isn't a conspiracy? We're in the media age right now. Everybody's got a smartphone. If somebody starts shooting with a machine gun, they might be hiding under a rock somewhere. There's people running from it, but there's going to be somebody out there with their camera phone out from underneath that rock filming it. They should be smart enough to understand that we're going to catch several machine guns coming out of a building. There's just so many avenues for lies. And what is all this about? Can we not just have a normal society? Everybody get along. Who gives a damn what skin color you are? I mean, is that even an issue? I mean, why should it be an issue? You know, it shouldn't be an issue if you're a man or woman. If you go to school and you make your grades and you qualify for that position, man, woman, black, white, brown, whatever, that's where your experience and your qualifications should get you a certain bracket of money. It
Right.
shouldn't be white men get the highest pay or, whatever. Hell with all that. Everybody needs to have, quality. And if they're not, don't take it out on the whole community. Take it out on the ones that's keeping it, suppressing it. If it's that company that's not hiring women or a race, take it out with the CEO. Boycott that company.
Well, everything you said is actually right on the nut. And in our society right now, it's kind of watching these riots and these lootings. Today, I watched a video, and uh, it's little clips, very little clips. I'll share it with you after the show. Um, but what it is, I don't know. I think you sent it to me. All those black people beating up everybody. Was that you that sent that to me?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Well, anyway, it's blacks taking advantage and beating people up, punching an old lady on the street.
I seen that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay. So here's what I'm saying. First and foremost, um, I don't care. I don't see color. A man's a man. I don't care who you are. A man's a man. And so I was watching this video, and I think this is right up the alley of what we're talking about. Is you watch this happen now. A woman broke out a window of a store, and I'm watching this video take place, and I'm shaking my head, going, "Jesus, these people are never going to stop. They're just never going to stop. These looters." I watched the video, and it's about a 5 minute video. And when I got done watching, I wait a minute, went back, watched it again. I don't see one white person, not saying that they wouldn't have, but I didn't see one white person going in that. It was just a mob of black people running in and stealing everything in the store and running back out. Running in, dropping stuff on the floor when they turn around. They're all on camera. They're all getting their
I've
pictures
seen
taken.
many of those videos like that.
Click. And it dawned on me just a second. And we're supposed to, like, you people who are doing that, you're better than that. Your parents raised you better than that. Why do you have to do that? It just blew me away.
And not one person try to stop them.
No, why?
And if they did, they'd probably be beaten.
They'd be mobbed like that video you sent. Like, they'll beat up anybody. They'll walk by you and sucker punch you, and there's nothing you can do. They'll gang up 5 or 6 of them and beat you silly. You know, I mean, seriously, this world is turning to crap.
Well, what I said a while ago, you take everything back instead of advancing our civilization. You take it back because all it does is cause a civil unrest, which is a civil war. And when you have
Yep.
all this going on, we got enough problems in the world right now. We don't need people ganging up on people and beating people up because of skin color. You know, even Hootie and the Blowfish had a song, 2 decades or more ago about, people fighting because of the color of a flag or a color of
Yeah.
your bandana that you wear. This is
It's true, though.
insane.
I mean,
This is insane. I mean, if you want to fight, if you really want to fight poverty, fight children starving, fight a good fight, but don't fight your brothers and sisters. Don't fight innocent people. Don't fight people that have struggled their generations and generations of building a business, and you come in and just destroy everything they built, including the government doing the same thing, just a bigger bully. And then when you have a civil leader that defends people doing that, that person needs out of the office day one. Boom, get out now. No, no, get out of jail free pass.
yeah, I agree on that one.
I mean, I'm serious. If you're sitting there, and I'm not trying to get a bunch of hate mail here, if you're protesting something, that's one thing. And I'm not talking about a protest. You all have everybody's got a right to protest.
By the way,
If
I'll put Chris's email at the end of the
I,
in the
no,
description.
no, no. I'm let me make it very clear because people today don't seem to understand what people say. So I want to make it crystal clear.
Gotcha.
If you're going to protest something, that's perfectly fine. But when it comes to doing things to harming people, that's not fine. And
Mm.
that goes right down to burning an American flag. Yes, you could burn a flag. You have a right to do that if you want. But think about the people that you're hurting, that you're destroying, people that have died. You have many uncles and relatives and aunts and brothers and sisters and fathers and mothers that have died putting that flag there. And
Yeah,
because
well,
you
they
don't
don't
see eye to
care. See, the
eye,
thing about it
it's
is
only a
they
flag
want
to
to
this.
do
It's
away
only a
with it.
flag to them. It's only a flag.
They
It's
want
only
to
a
do
piece of
away with it.
cloth.
They
It's
want
only a
to do
piece of
away with
cloth.
it. Did you see that? I don't know. The Hannity, uh, where they have the new constitution. The Democrats, AOC, all of them have our brand new constitution that they wrote up. It's just as long as the
Yes. 2,000 pages is what I was just telling you about a while ago that they're trying to do away with the borders. As
Yep.
soon as you step across the border, you get a paycheck. If you go out and you rape somebody's child or rape the child, kill the mother, kill the
No
father,
bail.
whatever, you're protected. The people that made that constitution, the what you're talking about, those people need beyond an insane asylum.
Do
They
you
need
think?
put
Do you
underneath
think?
the insane.
Let's talk about this. Do you think the American people are ready to change? Do you think the majority are going to side with the left?
Hell no, I do not. I definitely do not.
I have talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people, you know, I think I'm the only one at my where I work that's kind of like has a political attitude because I'm, of course, I have to deal with this, what we talk about on the air.
Right.
I try to be neutral. I always have been. I would say I'm a silent majority. Is I don't take left, I don't take right. I'm sitting back and I'm watching this all unfold. And sometimes I just shake my head, going, I'm being either thought a process as they're saying, oh, his poll numbers are down, they're this and that's down, he's destroying the country. It's all about this one guy, Donald Trump, who everybody hates. Okay.
I don't know very many people
Like,
that hate him. I see the media hating him.
well,
I see the
everybody
senators.
hates him. And here's the deal: even Republicans can't stand him. Some of them, and I sure the heck don't want to come off as fake news because I'm just a normal Joe Blow. We're in here doing this, we're talking, but I got news for you, man. It's freaking unbelievable of how much hate there is towards one man, and he is he doesn't care. Well, I'm sure he cares, but my worries is how far are they willing to go to hurt him?
Oh, there's no stop. Look what
No, no.
there's
And
no
the thing
stopping these
about it
people at all.
is the security. They were literally talking about how much security he has around his kids. Of course, his kids are marked. First opportunity, they're gonna do whatever they can. Take out, if it's not him, it's gonna be one of his kids.
Well, let's say you catch a dog and you put that dog in a cage and you come up to that dog. It's got a security camera on it, but you turn the camera off and kill the dog.
Mm-hmm.
There's no different than what they did with Epstein. You know, they had him in a cage to kill him. Now his girlfriend, if that was, I think it was his girlfriend, they turn all the security cameras off. You know, they have somebody that could put away a lot of people. Well,
Well,
for her protection, for her, for the no, you just want to kill her. That's all it is. They make the stupid.
everybody's gotten bets too. Everybody's like betting on this.
Well, they make the stupidest things. They do the stupidest things, and think we're just that stupid. When you like all these buildings in the 9/11 where they just fell right down. There's no fire in them at all. I'm not talking about the trade towers. I'm talking about the surrounding. But if we talk about that they were detonated, it's conspiracy. It wasn't a conspiracy. Nobody's that stupid. Nobody's that stupid. That's the same
But
thing with this. Epstein was killed. That's all there was to it. They killed him. They killed this man. They try to make it. They that's think that he killed his own self. Okay, well, you would think with any other witnesses, they would beef up the security. They'd have extra security cameras on the security cameras.
nope.
Nope. The opposite of that. The
Yep.
opposite of that.
Yeah. And the thing about it is it's this is just we are 100 and something days away from the election. And the Democrats apparently haven't won because of the polls. The mail-in voting. A woman. Now I don't know if this is true, but a woman got a ballot for a dead cat that had been
Or
dead 10 years.
I wonder how many illegals, you know.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is I think they're gonna I hate I don't want to scare anybody, but I think that there's something bigger coming.
No, I do too.
I think I
I've
think
felt it for a while.
they're gonna go way beyond whatever it takes to destroy this country. Now I
But
could be wrong.
now listen, for all you people weak and wanting to give up because you don't believe in yourself or your country. So all right, I'm just tired of it. Let's just let this nightmare end.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do the right thing, that nightmare doesn't end. It begins.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. The nightmare will begin. There's a lot of corruption right now. And the man that we're trying to get this corruption taken care of, the left wing's teaching you and educating you. He's a corrupt person because he grabbed a woman by her. Really? That's going to make this man or break this man. What about what he's doing for your country? I'm not citing what people talk in their locker room. Me and you have a glass of scotch or a beer or something on a tour bus. We talk manly man stuff. Women do the same. That's just locker room gossip. I don't care about that shit. What I care about is what is happening to our country. Lowest unemployment of all races. Lowest unemployment. Our economy was doing amazing until it was taken from us by COVID
Right.
19. So, other than this, that no matter who the president is, if you have a pandemic, you have what it is. Whether the pandemic is a pandemic or not, that's not the thing I'm talking about. What it is what it is. It doesn't matter if it was Obama or if it was any other president.
That's
A
true.
pandemic is a pandemic.
Well,
You
see,
can't
this
help
is
your
why we have to
economy.
work together. We have to work together, and we have to
Build the house together. You all help lift the walls,
the
put
key
the wall and the roof on. You
what's the
build
key
your
word?
house together. You don't divide the nation, you build it. You build your house
You
together.
you unite.
Exactly. This is supposed to be the United States. This doesn't mean that we have people. Well, we were all eagles at one time. Listen, let's go today. Right now, we have some very bad people in this world that want to come in here, now, destroying our country.
It's true too.
It's here now, destroying our country. Are you going to let them keep destroying our country, or are you going to make it better? Now, you said all these people hate Trump. I don't know. I don't know very many people that hate Trump. I honestly don't. You have extreme hate for Trump, or you don't. And about everybody I associate and I know, and all the places I've been all over the United States in the last several months during this pandemic. And everywhere I go, I see Trump stickers. I see Trump barn walls. I see Trump painted on cars.
I
I
do
see
too.
Trump rallies that are huge. I don't see that with Biden rallies. I don't see that with Bernie Sanders rally. I see it only with Trump rallies that are freaking huge. So you could take your fake polls, you could take your fake news and stick it somewhere that's fake in its own self. Because the reality is, I see what I see with my own eyes. I see a lot of love for that. Now, when you get on places, you're always going to have people that are venting from what they heard on the news. People, better yourself than that. If I'm the liar, show I'm the liar. If Trump's the liar, show he's a liar. If Bin Laden, or not Bin Laden, if Biden's a lawyer, show he's a lawyer, a liar. I'm getting all
You're getting like him. Can't
because
can't talk.
Arkansas is a great city.
Well, I'll tell you. You know, I feel. Here's how I feel. I feel numb to all this, and we do need to unite. But I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think it's ever going to happen, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. Um, I do know that if Trump wins the next election, which what I see is, you know, you've heard of TikTok, right?
Oh yeah,
I go through a lot of stuff to TikTok, and TikTok knows who you are. It knows if you're a leftist or a right person or whatever, or a Christian, you know. But this platform tries to block Christian people from talking about the Lord and stuff, and they get shadow banned and all this other stuff. The thing about it is there's not a platform, except we have a platform. We have a platform. It's almost like YouTube. We have our own platform. So if you all want to go there, I'll put the link in the description here for
you should,
later.
because you got to, first of all,
You
Facebook,
can upload any
Google,
video, and we will not.
Facebook and Google, they're very left,
Yep,
so
yep. Well,
everything is censored today, and it's censored to the left. Everything is, there's nothing censored to the right. Well, you got Fox News, really? That's all we got?
well, ONA is another one. All American News is another one. But the thing about it is we're not the news.
No, we're just researching what we
We
tell
are the
you.
people. We are the
You
people.
know, you can't say I was a Democrat my entire life. And in 2016, I switched to a Republican. Only I didn't care about, I didn't approve of his actions. I never did like Trump. That show, The Apprentice, oh my God, it never stayed on my TV more than just a couple of minutes till I get the remote and change it. I never was a Trump fan, even though I did study the history of Trump. And I'm a human. I read it in the Inquirer. I'm saying that
Right, right.
sarcastically, but I mean, I followed a lot of things Trump's did my whole life, and so did you. Like, for example, in the big park in New York, he spent millions of dollars and rebuilt the skating ring free. You didn't pay for it. Taxpayers
No,
didn't pay for it. Trump did. Trump's always been the first person to jump in and help people when nobody else would help the people. And a
yeah,
lot of different things. And fact check comes in there, and then all this is fake. Okay, well, first of all, your fact check hates Trump. Your fact checks is extremely left wing. I have several people that I know that put actually facts on there. Not do I think it's a fact, but they put actual facts on there. And
that's
if
true.
it's an unarguable fact, several times it came back. This is partially not true. It doesn't say it's not true. It says it's partially not true.
Hmm.
You know, there it's biased. It's extremely biased. You cannot go by fact check. I call it fake check. If you're gonna be biased, you can't. You need the people need to have something that really is a real fact check, not a liberal fact check, not a Republican right fact check, but something right in the center that
Hmm.
reports it exactly the way it is. We do not have that. We don't.
So what do we do?
Follow us on our show.
Yeah.
No, but really,
We can't tell
find
you what
find
to do, but I can say this is it's like, my God, could it get any crazier?
I do a lot of research for our shows that I mean, I like today watching what I had to watch and everything before the show, just so I have a little bit of knowledge of what I'm watching. Okay, that doesn't do the research, but there are a lot of topics that we have to dig in and research. You know, I went to college over 6 years. I know how to research. That does. I'm not bragging about myself. I haven't finished. I still got many more years to go.
He
But
does
the point,
brag about himself all the time. You'll get used
no,
to it.
I don't. I don't like to brag about myself whatsoever. I'm telling you the way it is. I learned how to research from the horse's mouth. I'm not going to go by what CNN said or what Fox said. I'm going to listen to the person say it and why did they say it? Because you could tell somebody said something, but you don't tell what was said before that. Same thing in church. Going to church my whole life, you hear somebody talking about something out of the Bible. Okay, well, what about the chapter or the paragraph, even or the chapters before that? Why did this happen? Is what I wanted to know. I wanted to know what motivated that person to say what they said. It gives you a better understanding. And I'm not saying that even if I did the research and a better understanding, I am correct. But I have caught so many mistakes throughout my life, and not just by bad mouthing news channels.
Right.
I had a patient one time, one of my patients back when I was doing therapy. He was having these big red sores all over his arms. And I looked up in Tabler's Medical Dictionary and a couple other books that I had, and I found out exactly what it was. A cardiologist, which was a rotor, top line cardiologist, was giving this person Librium and Benadryl together, and it was causing these prednisone sores on his arm. And
Right.
so I tucked the book in there and showed him, and he slammed the door, went out, and changed the prescription. The point was, you could research something yourself and find out so much more. And if your country isn't worth it, should you even be here? Your children's future, our children's future, we owe everything to them. Now, do you want to have another Venezuela here? That's what we're doing. If you make this a socialist country, I'm not, once Trump does his term, gets out of there, we need to have a clean slate for somebody that come in with a logical thinking process and do a great job. I love Candace, by the way, Candace Owens. Have somebody that comes in with a logical thinking and wants to keep your country running straight, smooth. We have to put discipline where it needs to be disciplined. First of all, you can't discipline a country if you have corrupt police officers. That's
That's
very,
true.
you cannot. We need to have officers that are more refined and trained. And if they're caught like that in the beginning, get them out. Simple. That's simple. There's no room on any job on either color to have a racist officer, a racist judge, a racist president, anybody in any form, shape whatsoever. Now, usually the problem that we have right there, a lot of people screaming racist, they're the racist. You know, if you're going to call somebody a racist, do you even know what you're talking about? Why are
No.
they a racist? If you're going to call Trump a racist, okay, well, why where do you why is he a racist? I mean, you got the he's did so much for different groups of people. I don't understand how they can keep this up. Well, it's simple.
Racist is a hate word, Chris. The only
It
reason
is
I
it's the
use
media
it's
fueling they keep dousing us with gasoline and lighting it. We need to fire the news. We
well,
do.
like they said, and I think it was a meme. It was um, someone had an idea. Cancel the media for 60 days, and all our shit will go away.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure of
know,
that.
it's that. So anyway, we're gonna be wrapping up here. We've been talking for quite a while, but
Have we?
I
How long
just
have we
want
been
to
doing
leave
this?
something. We're gonna, like I said before, we're gonna try to, try to keep some videos going, but just keep this in mind. Well, this is not going to be our agenda all the time. I don't, I, I don't want to keep doing this. I think one of our next shows, we're gonna talk about something pleasant, something
That would
fun.
be nice. That would be
You know,
really nice because I am so burnt out on politics right now. Yeah.
but the problem is with that, it's just like I'm going to share some drone footage on one of our shows. I'll talk about that. We'll talk about
You
music
still
and
taking your drone through the windows, peeking on people like that?
what's that?
No, I'm joking with you.
They're back there. There's my baby back there. So
Yeah, you get some pretty good footage with those things. That's amazing with our technology that we have today. Yeah, and I do miss the fact that I was going through the other day through some of my photos, and I seen some of our show topics that we've had on there, like our music show.
yeah,
We've had some tremendous guests on our show. We've had a lot of people that we've helped aid in their benefiting their career, getting to where they've gotten.
yeah, we did.
But the
Yeah, we did.
point is, It was fun. It was music. It was entertaining. And it was something that we don't have to go left or right because music is for everybody. You know, I wish our country was for everybody, but there's too much
All right.
division. Before we get out of there, we're talking about a country that's divided or a house that's divided. That's not actually true unless it's a double wide. Think about that.
That's true. All right, man. Everybody, hey, it's been a pleasure. I do appreciate everybody coming in here and talking to us and or listening to us, I guess. And we'll see you guys next time here on GHTR Web TV. Look for us a little bit more. It's only going to get better. That's all I can say. All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.